Good morning. Hey, yeah. I have something I want to talk about, as always. So, in order to take care of children, to be a good parent and a good leader to children, what I believe is you have to be able to, you have to repeat yourself. You have to love them more than they love you. You have to, you have to show that love more than they have to show it to you. You have to care for them more than they care for themselves. You have to protect them from themselves sometimes, protect them from their thoughts, their ideas, protect them from their mindsets. What else you have to do? You have to give them money. You have to support them, protect them, provide for them. You have to be there when they fall. You can't let them fall alone. You can't let them feel like the whole world is coming down on them. You have to protect them from the hard, brutal truths of life. You have to, all these things and more, And where I get this list from is just what it means to protect and provide and to care for somebody, right? This is not that far different from dealing with women. And depending on how you say it or how you present it will determine whether the message lands, A child will believe that something is right because that's all they know. That's all that their teacher taught them. And they will run with that and believe it to be true until somebody teaches them otherwise. So for that reason, when your kid is in the belief that whatever mathematical equation equals this, or whatever scientific concept turns out to be that, if you know better, which obviously sometimes kids know more about simple subjects like that don't actually apply to what you do in daily life. But this is what the teacher taught. Sometimes teachers teach wrong. Sometimes they teach something that's an old textbook and now Pluto's not a planet anymore, whatever, right? But the kid will take that and run with it, and that'll be the truth to them. Now, just because the kid thinks that way doesn't mean as the adult I should lie to them and say, yeah, that's right, or it seems like it's ingenuine to bolster that idea and let them believe that and let them run around the world thinking that way, and it's not like I'm seeking out the ideas and trying to blast them out of their mind and change them, but when applied to real life, in practical life, this is where the lessons are learned. So when they put this idea of what things should happen with certain inputs into practice and it doesn't work out, that is when, as the parent, I can explain to them, here's why that doesn't work. Now, you can continue to live and think that way, but now you have the reasons as to why your formula isn't adding up, okay? Now, it's the same when you deal with women. They have been taught some things by bad teachers, and not to say that I know everything or that I'm the perfect teacher. As a man, you have flaws. I have flaws. I don't have all the truth. It's impossible for any human to contain the full amount of truth. So if you truly believe that you don't have all the truth, then you, as a man, stand to learn things as well. So you just can't crush everything that your woman or your child brings to the table and say, well, I'm the man, so this is what's right. But what you do is you weigh it out. You let them speak, you let them say what they got to say, and then you weigh it out. And then you make a decision. And the thing about it is as the man, whatever decision you make is the direction the family goes. Okay, so be careful what you choose, because the whole family's coming along with you. As the woman or the child in that equation, whatever decision the man makes is a decision that you're not responsible for, but you are required to follow, you know, if you want the family to stick together. Okay, so it's not your responsibility. That means you don't get in trouble or you're not held accountable for when it goes wrong. But a man, he is. In fact, he's held accountable for when you do something outside of the rules as well, because he's responsible for you, not the other way around. So, knowing that nothing's going to ever cut fair and even, you have to understand that when you consider choosing a man, if you're going to choose a man that you think is a good leader. Don't choose a man just for his earning potential or just because of his looks. Those may be important to you, but if he can't lead you gracefully with his flaws, then don't choose that man. Okay? And in the same sense, choose a man that you can follow. He could be a good leader, but are you going to follow him? And if you know what following means, or have you redefined that? You know, because some women think following means I'll let you drive as long as you steer the way I think you should steer. And that's not how that works. Okay, so I'm in the driver's seat. I have the steering wheel. The woman sits over there. They do not have the steering wheel. They may have a map. They may have some ideas. They may have to pee every 30 minutes. Those are the inputs I need from them. But as far as steering goes, I may take the shortcut. I may take the long way around. Maybe I like driving with you, so I'm not in a rush to get to the destination. Either way, what women may not understand, because it does seem condescending when you say it the wrong way, is that in a lot of ways, dealing with a woman is the same way you deal with children. It's very nurturing and coddling in a lot of ways, but then there are parts where you can hold a woman to a little bit closer to the flame, give them a little more information about what's going on. But overall, if you're not in control of what you're doing, you're not in control of your family, you're not in control of the people that you support, you are going to capsize the ship. And so when you have these ideals or these concepts that don't fit or aren't being accepted by the team that's supposed to be following you, you put yourself in a hard spot, or you find yourself in a hard spot, because there are some non-negotiables to every man's plan for life. If you choose this man, hopefully you choose a man that's farther along and more successful than you, so that you can say, hey, his plan apparently works because he's got the ability to provide more than I can provide for myself. That's a big thing, right? Now, if you pick a dude that works at a grocery store or a gas station and he's struggling just like you, or he doesn't make as much as you, then you can kind of question his plans, you know? Maybe you're going to hang out, see if he turns that into a management position or whatever. But late in the game, here in the 40s, you know, you're choosing a man, you got to choose a man that kind of knows what he's doing, so that he can lead you in the ways that he thinks life should go. If you don't agree with those things, you shouldn't follow that man. But if you do agree with those things, it is your responsibility to adapt to the leader that you chose, so that he can continue to pursue life at the trajectory that he wants to go, with more fuel, because he has your backing and your support. You see, it's very important for a man that that we are around women who support us. It's better to be alone than to be with a woman who tears you down and goes against everything that you're trying to do. That's a fact. So it may seem silly to women, but men are simpler. We have a very simple way of doing things, and we get to the point. Okay, so as I'm saying before, Find a man that you can follow. Find a man that you don't need to prove that just because you went through this in life and you had this experience doesn't mean that it applies to this man, okay? And if it doesn't apply to him, then why do you want to put him through it? Why do you want him to live through it? For the sake of what? Validating your feelings, even if those feelings don't pertain to the future that we're headed to, or whatever's going on. Like, you have to understand, time is the most valuable thing. In fact, it takes time to earn money to give to family members and loved ones. Okay, so wasting time hashing out ideas over and over again is a valuable investment in a woman. Okay, talking about things over and over again is a valuable thing. Okay, but if we are landing on an idea and we're pushing forward that idea, at some point in your followership as a woman, I would assume that you would start to let go of the past and lean towards the future or whatever is trying to be built. There's no point in continuing to tear it down and say, yeah, but when I was younger, this is what happened. You know, it's been hashed out. We understand that. Now, let's not redo that. Let's not recreate that. We've set up a barrier. We set up boundaries so that you don't have to live through that again. So why do you continue to replay it as if? And then, so here's where I come in my weird way of doing things is I'm not going to be accountable or responsible for past individuals' failure to treat you properly. I will be here for you, but I won't take responsibility and say it was my fault and I need to do something different because of some dude or some person who treated you like that. Because I don't care about that dude or all of that. That's the past life, and everything is simply on your plate until you push it off your plate. If you want to move forward in life, move forward in life. It is easier said than done, I'm aware, but at some point you let go of your idea of what a boyfriend was supposed to be when you were in high school or middle school versus now. You move forward. You let go of an old concept that you chose something new. And it was based on experiences and talks and conversations that you have with people that you care about. So here we are making experiences and talking and conversing because we care about each other. And they say the hardest place to find revelation is within your partner, right? So if your partner is really trying to pour something into you, you probably won't hear it until you hear it from somebody else. And that's initially that was a tough pill to swallow, as I'm trying to teach or lead somebody and they're just not hearing me. But now I'm at a place where I understand it's going to take me 50 to 100 repetitions to teach you something or to prime you to be able to learn something. I'm not going to teach it to you. I'm just priming you to be able to learn it. And then you're going to hear a video or a meme, or you're going to talk to somebody at a grocery store, and then it's going to click. And you're going to be like, oh, there it is. And then you're going to be so excited that some stranger taught you something new today. And I'm be like, cool, there we go. So somehow, some way, you figured it out. And I don't have to be a part of taking credit for it. But what's important is that now you're turning the page and you're moving forward. But yes, the original comment, the original statement stands the whole time. Same way as if I was dealing with my child that I care about very much. I would love to teach you all these things, but what I can do is prime you for the lessons, and then when you get out in the world and somebody reinforces the things I've been talking about, then you will make a hard connection with your brain, and then you will learn it. It's not my job to teach you and to grow you. It's my job to support you as you learn and grow. You see what I'm saying? So it takes a bit of a humble mindset to back out of the seat and not take control of that too, I guess. But hey, you know, we're not all God, right? There's only one God. So we can all sit back and let him do what he's doing. And we can love and care and appreciate people right where they are without needing them to change tonight or tomorrow. You know, it's a process. It's a lifelong process. A relationship is a lifelong process if you do it right, you know? So that's kind of been on my mind in some conversations and some talks I've been having, because there are things maybe I'm stubborn about, or I just don't waste time with, concepts that don't fit what I'm trying to do. I understand men and women speak different languages, and for that reason, I don't believe that everything that I say to a woman is comprehended right there. Yet, I've been in multiple situations where women will comprehend something early in a relationship and carry it like it's the gospel for years, as if they 100% understood what I was saying years ago. And yet still we don't have perfect communication now. You have to give room for growth and error. Like, you don't understand me all the way. That's okay. I don't understand you all the way. That's why we talk about the things over and over and over again. It's not a one shot, one kill. Communication is a daily grind. It is just a part of a process. You know, it takes years and years and years to get to like a 70% accuracy of what somebody's saying, probably. You know, so if I said something to you when I first met you, and you still know me 5 years later, there's a good chance you didn't comprehend it all, and I probably don't even stand in the same place, because people change. Okay? So ask a question as often as you need to, so that you can get to know me better. And as you ask questions, I'll get to know you and where your mind is better. But do not lock in on the idea that you 100% understand each other, because you don't. You know, you just don't. But yeah, that's something I've been thinking about in this process, in this life. Let me know your thoughts. Love you.